Good morning. Welcome to another One Mind meditation. This week we don't have one single teacher. This week I'm using some thoughts, some wisdom from a bunch of different teachers. Just before we get started with today's meditation, I want to remind you that what makes for the best inner experience is to have as little outside distraction as possible. And that helps if you draw the curtains, switch off the lights, and perhaps it's already too light where you are. And it would be helpful if you have a sleeping mask to keep as much of the light out as possible. And also earphones do a great job to try and have as little outside distraction as possible and as much of an inner experience as you can have for your meditation today. Somebody, very good morning. Happy Thursday to you too. It's awesome seeing you. Marcella, hello. Happy Thursday. And Pat, good morning. It is awesome seeing you all. Thank you for joining us on today's journey. Right, let's get into it. The three thoughts I have today is from Jon Kabat-Zinn, David Lynch, and John Welwood. Jon Kabat-Zinn says, "It is indeed a radical act of love just to sit down and be quiet for a time by yourself. Spending that few moments, the few moments we do today, you being with yourself, is a radical act of love," says Jon Kabat-Zinn. Anthony, very good morning to you, and Lorraine, good morning. Awesome seeing you all here. And I think that's Linda that I saw pop up. Good morning, Linda. Welcome to today's journey. David Lynch says, "The thing about meditation is you become more and more you. More and more meditation brings you more and more to you." And then John Welwood says, "Meditation provides a way of learning how to let go. As we sit, the self that we've been trying to construct and make into a nice, neat little package continues to unravel." Charlene, very good morning. Good to see you. Hope you feel much better today. So there are three thoughts in these three pockets of wisdom. A radical act of love, becoming more and more you, and the image of ourself that we've been showing the world starting to unravel. Estelle, very good morning. Good to see you here. There is a becoming that is available to us, and meditation is a tremendously helpful tool in this process of becoming. Meditation means, literally, the word meditation means to become familiar with. And that begs a question. What exactly is it that we are becoming familiar with while we meditate? So while I sit and observe, I become familiar with thoughts and feelings that arise. And the more I observe, the more it becomes clear that while these thoughts and feelings come, they also go. With time, I become familiar with the origin of these thoughts and feelings. I start seeing more clearly the events and old messaging that created these old thought patterns within me. The easier it becomes for me to observe these old thoughts and feelings, the easier it is to know that thoughts and feelings are not me. Who I am is the one who's watching. Our journey today is called a sense of self, and it affords us the opportunity to take a step back and see what's really here. These thoughts and feelings, have a really good look at them and find that we really are the one who is watching. So if you're ready, let's float away on today's journey together. You can close your eyes, and we'll start by taking the first few big breaths. Let's take a deep breath in and out. A deep breath in and out. Deep inhale. And let it go. Deep breath in. And out. One more big breath in. And let it all flow away. You can continue the same breathing pattern on your own time. Every slow inhale through your nose gets drawn all the way deep down into your belly. And as you fill up your belly with air, feel yourself grow from your core and expand in all directions. And once your belly is full of air, then again let all of it go. Rising and falling, breathing in and breathing out. I want to remind you again, with every inhale, you are breathing into your belly. Imagine there's a balloon in your belly and it fills up, it inflates as you breathe in. And in every exhale, you allow that balloon in your belly to deflate as your body grows softer. For today's journey, we're going to visualize two examples. Two kind of opposite ways that we have of being. We all have more than one experience of what it is to be ourself. We have a spectrum. There are many ways to describe this spectrum. The most common way is by describing our emotions. The ones we tend to think of as negative emotions: anger, fear, shame, guilt, rage. And the emotions we tend to think of as positive emotions: happy, blissful, excited. this range of what it feels like to be human can have quite extremes at the ends of this range. But the moment that we have acceptance, real acceptance for our extremes, no longer pushing against these, no longer wishing them away, but learning to hold them, the moment we can have acceptance for our extremes, we instantly become less extreme. Because acceptance is right in the middle of this range. Allowing ourselves to be human is that place of equanimity right in the middle. This is the experience we're having today. We'll take the last few big breaths of this phase together, helping our bodies stretch, adjust, and settle down comfortably into the rest of our journey. Let's take a deep breath in. As you release, drop your head all the way forward and roll out your neck muscles. Forward and to the left, and also forward and to the right. Big half circles, nice and slow. Take a deep breath in. As you release, roll your shoulders forward in big, slow circles. Take a deep breath in. And as you release, roll your shoulders backwards in big half circles. Take a deep breath in. As you release, focus on your spine. Lean your ear, your left ear, over towards your left hip. And lean your right ear over towards your right hip. Gently leaning into your back muscles. One more big breath in. And as you release, you can stretch or move or adjust any part of your body that still needs a bit of help settling down. Having softened our bodies into presence as much as we possibly can, we'll now turn our attention inwards and dive deep inside for the next part of our journey. With every next inhale, we'll hold our breath for a few short moments, followed by a really long, really slow exhale. If you don't have the time to sit for the whole meditation with us, this would be a great place to stop. And if you are here for the whole journey, we'll take the next few big breaths together. Let's take a deep breath in. and hold. As you release, make it a really long, really slow exhale. Take a deep breath in and hold. As you release, feel into your body. Feel the muscles of your body soften. Take a deep breath in and hold. As you release, follow the downwards flow. Feel how your shoulders are slowly falling. Feel how your body is slowly softening. Feel how you are slowly slipping deeper into you. One more big breath in. And hold. And as you release, feel yourself melting. Feel your whole body dissolving. Feel how you are slipping into a deeper level of surrender with every slow exhale. You can continue the same breathing pattern on your own time. Every slow inhale through your nose. Is an invitation. It invites you to turn inwards and follow this journey. As you breathe in, really feel the air flow in through your nostrils. Feel the air touch the back of your throat. Stay with your breath as it flows in through your lungs. And as you fill up the balloon inside your belly, feel yourself slip all the way in. Hold your breath. But hold it only for as long as it feels really easy, followed by a long, slow exhale. With your next big breath, as you dive deep into you, see if you can take a step outside of yourself and be the observer of you, be the one who is watching. See yourself sitting there, holding your breath. Take your next big breath. For today's journey, we're creating two kind of opposite examples. The first one will be an example of our small self, a reactive part of us that sometimes gets triggered easily, and also because this lives within us too, the opposite to that, our higher self. The part of us that sometimes is really calm, even under a great deal of pressure. To make it a really clear image, with your next big breath as you dive deep into you, I want you to create a visualization of you driving in traffic. Behind the wheel, this might have been recently, or maybe quite some time ago. But driving in traffic that feels pressured, that has you surrounded by bad drivers, and you're on the verge of being triggered. We could perhaps even call this road rage, but you know what I'm talking about. Find yourself an example of your own little bit of road rage. Take your next big breath. As much as you can, I want you to try and step outside of yourself and have a good look at the very human you being triggered behind the wheel. Can you remember what the other driver did that triggered you so much? Can you remember how you felt? Can you remember the thoughts you had? Can you remember the words you said? Can you get a picture of your body language? Take your next big breath. If you could ask this very human you behind the wheel, if you could ask that part of you that felt so triggered a question, let's see if there's a possible answer there. As you take your next big breath, as you dive deep into you, ask this very human you, what is it that you were afraid would happen? What is it that you were afraid would happen? Take your next big breath. We can ask this question to any of our triggers. And with practice, we often get behind what the real cause of the trigger is. And maybe being behind the wheel in traffic is not the best example for you. So take a moment with your next big breath to find a different example. Again, it could be quite recent or a longer time ago. What comes to mind? When have you been really triggered and reacted in a way you thought, in hindsight, was perhaps not so helpful? Can you come up with an example of you being triggered that you'd like to perhaps have handled differently? Bring that image of you to your mind. Take a step outside of yourself and see yourself in that moment being triggered. Can you remember what it felt like? Can you remember the thoughts you had in that moment? Can you remember the words? Try and see your body language in that triggered moment. It might have been with a friend, a family member, a colleague. Take your next big breath. And while you have a picture of this triggered part of you, see if you're able to ask yourself the same question in that moment when you were so triggered. What is it that you were afraid would happen? Take your next big breath. When we ask this question to any of our triggers, we tend to get closer to what the cause of the trigger is. Something inside of us is trying to be protective. Something deep inside of us has a deep desire for something different, something better. Let's have a look at the opposite example though. Because at the same time, the other side of this spectrum exists within you too. Let's go back to driving. Being behind the wheel of your car. Could you find an example where you were able to be calm under pressure? Where there was a bad driver cutting you off, and instead of reacting, you thought, it's actually better, get ahead of me. It's better you move forward and get out of my life, rather than being in my space, being unsafe. Can you remember an example of being really calm under pressure? Take your next big breath. Or maybe driving a car is not the best example for you. Do you have any other example of dealing with a friend, family member, a colleague, a client, or just some stranger? Someone really pushing your buttons, but for some reason, for that moment, you were able to breathe and be really calm under pressure. Remind yourself of an example. Take your next big breath. We'll do one more big breath together, slipping out of the breath holding space and into the next. Let's take a deep breath in and hold. And as you release, feel yourself slip all the way through. There is no more attention on your breathing. You can sit all the way back. You can lie all the way back down if you want. But for the moment, again, take a look at the triggered part of you, the small self, who sometimes easily becomes triggered. And see if you can find a way to move this part of you a little bit closer. Sometimes just in the same room is close enough. Sometimes right next to you, and sometimes even on your lap. However it works for you, can you bring that small self a little bit closer? I want you to try these words while you look at your small self. I see you. I hear you. How you feel is valid. I can see you're just trying to help. Let's try it again. While you look at your small self, the part of you that is sometimes easily triggered, try it again. I see you. I hear you. How you feel is valid. I can see that you're trying to help. And ask yourself the question, while I'm able to have acceptance for this triggered part of me, who am I being? And this is your higher self. The same part of you who is able to look at an aggressive bad driver and say, actually, I'm not going to fight with you. I'll make space for you. Get ahead. Better out of my life than in. The same part of you who can deal with an aggressive person in front of you and stay calm. That is the part of you that can look at the worst parts of you and understand and go, actually, I see you. I'm not fighting you any longer. I understand how out of fear you are reacting, but actually trying to help. And the moment we have acceptance and understanding for our extremes, we are instantly not so extreme. You really are the one who is watching. The truth of your being is you are the one that can do the holding. We have the last 5 breaths of gratitude to do together. With every exhale, I'll say my thank you, and I invite you to say yours. Let's take a deep breath in. Thank you for this clear picture. Take a deep breath in. Thank you for understanding that the worst parts of me were never bad, but scared and trying to find a way to survive. Take a deep breath in. Thank you for this deep lesson that when I have acceptance for the worst parts of me, I'm not perpetuating the old habits. I'm stepping into my higher self. That is the part of me that has the acceptance. And I'm making it easier to act, not from the fearful parts, but from my higher self. Take a deep breath in. Thank you for finding it so much easier to hold the scared parts. Thank you for how much faster this happens. One more big breath in. Thank you, beautiful humans, for being a part of our journey. Thank you for your own acceptance of the scared parts. Thank you for how much you step into your higher self again and again. Thank you for learning that you don't do better by pushing the triggered parts away and being at war with the scared parts of you. You do better simply by stepping into your higher self, stepping into your soul, the part of you with arms big enough to hold all of this. Bridget, a very good afternoon to you. It's awesome seeing you with us today. Thank you for visiting. Maggie, good morning. And another Maggie, good morning. Good to have you with us. Thank you, Sunmarie. Thank you, Charlene. Thank you, Estelle. And Pat and Marcella and Linda and Anthony and whoever else might be in the background. Wishing you a beautiful day. And I'll see you right here again soon. So much love to each and every one of you. Ciao, ciao.